Hello and welcome to True Guidance Tarot. I'm Adriana Teodoro-Dier. I'm a spiritual medium and intuitive reader, your guide to a clearer perspective. I have a message for Libra today. This is a message that I've asked for from my guides in spirit to help you and on your spiritual path this week with a beneficial as well as deeply meaningful message. So we have an interesting thing going on, Libra. We've got the sun for the energy that the universe gives you this week. And for those of you with Scorpio in your chart, also check out the Scorpio reading because they led off with the same card. Now for you though, I feel that this is just the energy of pure joy. I've never seen those before. There's actually little bees on this card. So, buzzing around happiness. I always think of bees as being pretty happy, in the flowers all day. So we've got the energy of pure joy, but we also have the energy of clarity, of illumination, of being able to see things for what they are. I'm also getting a strong idea of rebirth. So this is the energy presented to you. This is a potential for this week. Now you're responding with the High Priest. So it's a funny card. There's a stubbornness to this card, but there's also the idea that you're kind of in this gateway between the higher spiritual potential, like even more than where you are, and just kind of your mundane world. But this card is kind of like the key. He's the bridge, he's the transition point. And so that's where you are. You're kind of like teetering on the edge of being able to access the stronger, even stronger spiritual energy from your higher self, and just kind of being still stuck on the earth in your conditioning and your old patterns. So let's keep going with the reading. It's really, really interesting. We've got the Four of Swords, we've got the Moon, and then we've got the Queen of Swords, and both of those are facing into the moon. And we had the sun here. So the sun was our opposite, right? The sun was what the universe gives you, and now you're here in the moon. So keep in mind, we've got that opposite going on because that's going to play into your advice later on. I feel like this Four of Swords is you trying to figure this out. There's one more thing, one more sword you've got to pick up so that you can slice through some mistiness or unclarity, that unclarity that is given to you by this moon card. The moon is a different world than that sun card. I love this deck because it couldn't be clearer. This is bright and shining and out in the open, it's right there. And this is kind of like, what? What the heck? It's dreamy, it's a little bit misty, it's a little murky, it's a little odd. Things change all the time with the moon. And I feel like with this card, we're also talking about old instinctive patterns that you may not even be aware of, but those instinctive things that you need to feel safe. Emotionally, whatever makes you feel safe, that's what we're talking about in the moon. And your rational self knows that it's time to let some of that go. That some of those things that used to make you feel safe or make you feel emotionally safe are actually coming from a place of need, and they're just not necessary anymore. So he wants to take up that final sword so he can cut through this, really cut through the illusion and the murkiness of this card so that he can get to this Queen of Swords. And the Queen of the Swords is the power of being able to see straight through that moon card to see what's happening, to see the truth of your self-sufficiency, that you don't need what you think you need to feel safe, that you've actually got that security and safety within you. We've also got with this card here, with these, actually all of these cards are in some sense talking about meditation or intuition. She's very connected to the divine with her colors. She's got her eyes also pointed up but also closed, so they're pointing in. So this is talking about that inner world that we're trying to inhabit. And again, she's in her inner world. This moon card is an inner world. Sometimes it talks about the dreams and the subconscious, the unconscious. And then this Four of Swords is also lost in his mind. So a lot of this energy is directed in, even though the universe gave you out, right? The sun shines out. So this is the idea that you're trying to navigate through this inward world so that you can understand what needs to stay with you and what doesn't need to stay with you. A little bit of cutting out, sorting through. You know, this spread is giving me some problems because I just can't get any clarity from it. So I feel like you're in this moment of things just not really hooking and connecting up because we can't get a handle on what's rational and what's instinctive. What you feel you need is not actually what you think you need. No, yeah, right. What you feel and think you need is not actually what you need. What you're looking for is the true sense of safety and groundedness and empowerment. You're not looking for this other stuff that seems like it's what makes you safe. And what I'm also feeling with these cards is we're talking about cutting those apron strings a bit, cutting that dependency on female authority figures, strong female figures, cutting that off so that you can become that stronger feminine energy. So if you're not biologically a female and you're watching this video, whatever this is, we're talking about that feminine side, that you're learning how to have a more independent feminine side, because that's what this Queen of Swords is she is that truly independent feminine side. Okay, they're telling me to move on to your advice, and we've got the Two of Swords. And for the Two of Swords, I'm thinking the Two of Swords is connected to this dichotomy as well. So she's got two paths. She can't figure out which one to take. One looks a little bit lighter. One looks a little bit darker, but they're still unknown. She's not sure what to do. And that's where you are. You're kind of caught between this light, enlightened self and this darker, shadowy, unconscious, instinctive, emotionally kind of needy self. And that's the thing, is you're not sure which one to follow. Which path do I go down? Do I go down that opened self, or do I go down this path that feels right? The stuff that feels good may not actually be good for you. It's kind of like fast food. You know, it feels really good. It tastes really good in the moment, but then afterwards, maybe you don't feel so great. So maybe that wasn't the right food for you. Maybe that wasn't actually nourishing. So the things that you think are actually nourishing to you and actually the things that you want, maybe they're not. So I feel like I'm feeling a little frustrated because I feel like some of this stuff is murky on purpose because it's made for you to figure out. It's made for you to weed through. And, you know, as a reader, I want to give you as much clarity as possible, but I can't take away your process because that's disempowering. So unfortunately, you've got to kind of wrestle with this and struggle with this. I hope that this gives you at least a way to sort it out so you can at least know where to explore from. But again, I can't take your power away. I don't want to take your power away. And it's murky for a reason. It's murky because that's the energy they're wanting you to work with. So if you've got questions on this, please let me know. And I always love to hear from you in the comments. I do encourage you to watch that Scorpio reading. Even if you don't have Scorpio in your chart, I think it's going to help you as well. So I just feel like these two are connected. And I invite you to check out my website, trueguidancetarot.com. It's got some stuff on there if you're looking for more personalized guidance, or if this has you completely confuddled and you need a little more help. This might be a good place to start. So I'll look forward to seeing you next week on True Guidance Tarot, and have a great day. Good luck wrestling through some of this.